Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Here in Betawi, Indonesia, it is good morning. My brothers and sisters Carmelites, 24 years ago, Father Camilo Maxise, who was general of the order at the time, a man of great vision, for the future of the order, Father Camilo Maxise invited me to come to Rome to initiate a new secretariat in the general house of the order. That new secretariat was to be dedicated completely to the secular order. I was asked to begin that secretariat. My job, my responsibility, included visiting all of the circumscriptions of the order, where the secular of the order, and the places where the secular order was present, because the secular order was present in countries where the fathers or the nuns were not even present. So the desire of Father Camilo was that this secretariat would start to coordinate better the secular order in the church, in the secular order in the church. In my travels, in visiting different countries, and in getting different conferences in different countries, I noticed that there were some things present commonly, and there were other things that individually were missing in some places. There was a real need to understand from a new perspective the reality of the secular order. Sometimes some of the fathers needed to be brought up to date on what the secular order meant. Sometimes the secular order needed to be brought up to date on what the secular order meant for the good of the church, for the good of the order. 12 years ago, after 12 years ago, I wrote a book, a little book. Thanks to the intervention of the secular order from Washington, D.C., I wrote a little book called Welcome to the Secular Order of Carmel, or Welcome to the Secular Order of the Discalced Carmelites, because there are secular order members. They still call them Third Order members, TOC. We are OCDS, secular Carmelites. In this book, I collected the different conferences I was giving in different countries, and many of these conferences were given first in Malaysia or in Indonesia, in Southeast Asia. I have to confess that I really grew to love and appreciate the vocation of the secular order by visiting specifically Southeast Asia. Although I had great respect, and I had been chaplain for the secular order in Dallas, Texas, which was to me very advanced in the way they understood, even in the 80s and 90s, the way they understood their vocation, thanks to Father Sam Anthony Morello of Oklahoma province. But I getting back to my responsibility, I visited many countries, and I began to observe these things. I collected all of these observations in the conferences that I gave in that book, Welcome to the Secular Order of the Discalced Carmelites. What I want to do now, after 12 years, is revisit those principles, those fundamentals of the vocation, of the discernment of the vocation and formation, and of the living of the vocation of Discalced Carmelites in the world today. So I will go through, I intend over the next series of conferences by means of YouTube to review some of the things, most of the things, that I wrote in that book in an effort to help us all to begin again, begin always anew. St. Teresa says, let us begin always anew. In order to begin always anew, sometimes you have to go back to the very, very fundamentals to reinsure that what is being produced now is the fruit of what has been given. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notice button, and then you will receive notice of when these videos will be available.